Welcome everyone to day 4 of the 21 days program. It is very nice to see you all join us again today. So yesterday we had the experience of balancing, our left side, that emotional side, the side of the past, and our right side, which is the side of action, our mental side, our planning side. And we found out that when we can balance those two sides, we are able to come into the center. So we are going to review that today. The other thing is we will have questions again at the end. And I just wanted to send a message to Badri. Badri, I'm sorry that I missed your question yesterday. So we will answer that at the end today. So we might go to our slides. Excellent. So today our topic is, we are all so beautifully made. And the wonderful thing about meditation is that when we do meditate, we are able to feel and see that beauty within us. Yesterday, you would have felt that experience of silence, that experience of peace, and know that what you were feeling was your spirit. And our spirit is who we are. We are not these thoughts. We are not this body. We are not our day-to-day responsibilities or the role we play, but we are the spirit. So every time we meditate, we are able to get more in connection to that spirit. The other thing is, as we meditate, we begin to manifest these spiritual qualities that we carry on our chakras. So, for example, innocence, wisdom, creativity, peace, love, joy, humility, and forgiveness. These are all qualities of our spirit. And as we meditate, this mothering energy within us, the Kundalini, reconnects us to these qualities so that we can manifest them into our everyday life. Now, what we'll do now is we will introduce our presenter for tonight, Erin. Erin, if you can. There she is. And if you can also unmute yourself. Thank you, Erin.
Hello, everyone. Lovely to be with you.
Welcome, Erin. I will now hand over to you, and then we can talk again at the end.
Thanks, Jenny. So Andrew's going to shortly put up a slide for us again of the subtle system that exists within us. I think you've seen it before, and we'll talk a little more about it tonight. Do we have anyone who hasn't had their self-realization? Jenny, did we do that check? Maybe just let Jenny know in the chat if you haven't, and I'll tailor things a little to make sure that you're taken care of as well with that self-realization process. So the topic for tonight is about how beautifully we're made. And this human body that we have is amazing in that it takes subtle energies and vibrations in the world around us and makes sense of them. So, for example, we have our ears that pick up sound waves, and all of the language and the music and all of the things that flow from that is something that we take for granted, but it's quite miraculous when you think about it. And likewise, sight, taking light vibrations and seeing all the colors and all the beauty in the world around us. So if you have a look at this chakra chart, and you think of it as being like a diagram of the inner ear, shows you how we in our body take those sound vibrations and bring them in and decode them and make sense of them. This chakra chart here shows you the mechanism that is so beautifully built within us, so that once we get our self-realization and that Kundalini energy is awakened, this beautiful system is already set up within us so that we can feel those vibrations, that all-pervading energy, that life force that's all around us and in us and pervading the whole world. That starts to reflect on our central nervous system. And with some little perseverance and practice, we can start to make sense of it and start to use this energy and these powers in a whole way, different way in our lives that we've never experienced before. So tonight we'll talk a little more about this subtle system within us and what it all means and how we can use it and benefit from it. Yesterday we talked a little and experienced the balancing of the left and right side. The beauty of being able to clear ourselves like that is it doesn't matter where the energy imbalances are coming from, how they've developed. We just clear them without any thoughts or delving into the past. We don't have to rebirth or go to psychiatrists. We just clear out the imbalances wherever they've come from. So this left channel that we have, that we talked about as being from the past, it's the center where all our desires and our emotions come from. And built within that left side is all of our history and our evolution. So we know within us we have traces of our evolution in the way we've developed. So we have the brain stem, which goes back to our reptilian evolution. We have the limbic area, which is where our, as human beings, we started to evolve language and the ability to make memories. Our instincts all live here. And then we have our neocortex, which has developed within us all of our higher thoughts and higher cognitive functions. And all of these within us have traces of our history. And sometimes it's positive conditionings that we don't even know about. We know that if we hear birds happily chirping in the background, our blood pressure drops. We relax and we breathe more deeply. We don't have to know about it, it's just built within us. And similarly, we have some flight or fight mechanisms built within us. All of these conditionings sit there on our left side. The positive and the ones that bring us into states of alert and alarm. And all of these are now connected into this left channel and enlightened with our Kundalini so that we can clear them and receive inspiration into those areas of our past that need to be cleared and strengthened. And we have on our right side all of the effects all of the effects of our past. We have the practices that we've worked with over the years. Our future is an effect of our past. We have our culture, our cultural practices. We have all of the things that human beings have done to the earth, the buildings, the agriculture, all of those positive things that have created the world that we will live in tomorrow. And in our central channel, we have built within us this strong desire to evolve, to be the best that we can be. Even our puppies want to be the best puppies they can be. All the animals have this desire to evolve and strengthen and grow. And within human beings, until we have our self-realization, it's being tempered by our conditionings and what our families think are the best things for us to do, what our culture says is the right thing. And now with our self-realization, we have a truer, absolute path that tells us what the real truth is. If we've been from a family that values criminal behaviour or angry outbursts, I came from a family of Irish people who like to have a good, loud argument over dinner. And it took me some time to realise that I had to unlearn those behaviours. So we come to this state of self-realisation with all these layers of conditioning that we have to now start to unlearn in this light that we have from our self-realisation. And this reflects in us as we start to understand and decode this beautiful system of channels and chakras. And we start to feel them reflected within us. So as we felt yesterday, this awareness starts to reflect in our body. We have a new sense of where weight sits in our body, if one side is heavier than another, and where the energy is flowing in our hands, where it's meeting resistance and we have tingles in our fingers. And if you're not feeling those, you might be feeling the sense of relaxation in different parts of your body as tensions and past conditioning start to untangle and relax and unfold. So today we're going to move a little deeper into that awareness of our subtle system. And once again, use our hands to change the flow of these energies and to start to clear and balance. So when we desire to do something, when we create something, the desire arises in our left side and we take action in the present moment and we have our effect in the future. And before self-realization, this is kind of a closed circuit. We have something come up, we act and we react. We don't have a great deal of choice. We have to unlearn some of our conditioned behaviours. Once we have this self-realization, we then can step outside this cause and effect. Just as we can be in meditation and be aware of all the sounds and everything that's happening around us without thinking about it, so too, when something happens that arises in us as an emotion, we can be aware of it. We can just let it go. We no longer have to react to it. So in this central channel, this channel where we have now a flow of energy which is loving and peaceful and intelligent, we step outside our karmic path of action and reaction. And in this space above our head, where our attention is above our brain, here all things are possible. This is the realm of dynamism, of benevolent and loving attention. It's the realm of miracles. And we just have to learn how to access it and call upon it in our day-to-day lives. So let's start now moving into a meditation. Andrew, if you could put up the photo of Shri Mataji. So let's start now by raising our Kundalini, as we learned before, and putting ourselves into a bandhan. So with our attention on the top of our head, let's just bring this subtle energy up and tie a knot on top of our heads for the first time. And then the second, and 2 knots. And then the third, and 3 knots. And now let's put ourselves in bandhan, starting from the left, over and back, and doing this 7 times. So with our hands, we're moving the energy around. And in taking these actions, we're asking this subtle energy to stay above our heads, to keep our attention above our heads, and to flow in this way all around our aura, all around our chakras, and protect and strengthen them. So our normal flow of energy comes in through our left side, through our left hand, and flows around us and out through the right hand. Shri Mataji has suggested that if we wear a watch, we wear it on the right hand, so that the electromagnetic energy from the watch travels out through our right hand rather than through our whole body. And as we move our hands and arms, we move that energy around. As it comes through our palm, it has a magnetic effect as we move. So we can move the energy around in our own subtle system and then in the subtle system of others, as you'll learn later on. So now, with our attention at the top of our head, let's just start by raising our hands up to heart level and just let them float there a little so that you can feel the weight. And let's just notice if one hand, one arm is heavier than the other. If you were to let your hands drop, which hand would want to move and fall down first. For me, it's the right side tonight. And this changes day to day, depending what sort of a day you've had, how busy you've been, whether things have been happening that are making you more emotional and tired, or whether you've been a little bit busy and hectic. So we're just starting now to tune into this subtle system and see how things move and change. So just notice if you have any tingling in those fingers. And if you have one side that's heavier, maybe there'll be more tingling and catching on that side. And now let's put our hands on our lap, upright, with again our attention on the top of your head. And let's just notice how our body feels. So on that heavier side, you might notice little areas of tension or discomfort. One shoulder might be a little higher and tighter. One side more relaxed, more cool. So now let's just start with clearing our left side. And this left side energy, the emotional energy, tends to be a watery energy. And water runs downhill. So with our attention on the top of our head, let's drop our hand down towards the earth, or if you're sitting on the ground, just drop your hand onto the Mother Earth. And here with our attention at Saraswara on top of our head, we just ask this mothering energy within us. Mother Kundalini, please clear my left side. Please clear any tension, any heaviness or lethargy in my left side. Please clear any conditionings, any excess emotion, any hankering for the past. Please clear any wrong ideas we have. Any irritability or dissatisfaction. Let it all just wash away in these cool vibrations. Please awaken within me the peace and the contentment. Peace and the joy. Please strengthen the spirit within me. Open my heart. Please let me feel kindly disposed towards myself. Free of any past self-doubt or recriminations. Please let me feel the forgiveness for myself and others, and the peace that this brings to my mind. Now, with our attention at Saraswara, let's bring our hands back up to heart level. And let's just notice how this left hand now feels. And now just notice the weight in the hand. And now you might find your right hand is heavier. So let's put our hands back on our lap now and let's clear this right side. So the right side, our side of action, generates heat when we overuse it. And heat is an energy that moves upwards like a fire. So we make a chimney with this left hand. So bending it at the elbow with the palm towards the back, away from you, away from your face. And you can rest your elbow comfortably against your torso so that you're relaxed in this position. Now we ask Mother Kundalini energy, Mother, please clear my right side. Please clear away all the overthinking, all the planning, all the thoughts we've had about what we will do or should do. Please relax all the muscles in the right side that we have clenched ready for action. Please let all that tension just wash away in your cool vibrations. Please clear away all the annoyances of the day. All the frustrations and angers. any sharp words or unkind deeds. Please just disappear it all into the ether. Please awaken the peace, contentment, and satisfaction within you. Bring into my heart the gratitude, the joy for all the gifts of this life, of this world. All the benevolence, all the kindness, all the love of my life. Please free my mind of all regrets. Please free my mind and my heart of all past events. I forgive everything. I forgive everyone. I forgive myself. Now let's put both our hands at heart level. Our attention at Sahasrara. And just notice now the balance across both sides. And more cool across the hands. Let's put our hands on our lap upwards. Thumbs up. And now also notice your body. Many of those areas of tension that you had before should have moved and relaxed now. Let's just be in this quiet state for a minute or two, and then we'll play a talk of Shri Mataji's. Andrew, would you please play the tape for us, the video? Oh.
This spirit, when it manifests, it also gives you a state which we call as collective consciousness. It's the state by which you become, again I say become, it's actualization, it is not just talking. You become conscious collectively, means you become conscious of another person's centers on your fingertips. You also become self-aware. You know about yourself, what centers are catching, where are we going. Like a person who becomes mentally upset, he doesn't know. Till he becomes mad, goes to lunatic asylum and dies, he does not know. But in Sahaja Yoga, immediately you can find out that there's something going wrong with your mental side. If a person gets into cancer, he might get into the state of galloping cancer, about to die, then he may discover that he has got cancer. But in Sahaja Yoga, if there's a little imbalance, immediately it shows on your fingertips. And if you know how to do it, how to correct it, then every problem is solved. So as I told you yesterday, yoga has double meaning. Yoga means union with the divine. That's one. And the second one is the expertise, the deftness, what we call in Sanskrit kaushalam. You must have the deftness, how to handle this all-pervading power that is flowing through us, how to understand ourselves, how to understand others. That's an important part of Sahaja Yoga. First of all, a little light is enlightened. You get the experience of the spirit to begin with. It's an actualization. But then you must make it grow. Christ has given beautiful parables explaining this, the sprouting of the seeds which were thrown on the rocks. Some were thrown in the good soil and some were neglected. We find that every day happening. Thousands come to my program and then I find some of them are lost in the rocks. Some of them are wasted, but some of them become huge big trees to give shade, joy and support to others. We have to change this world. How are we going to change this world, this horrible world which is just on the precipice of destruction? The only way is that we have to change ourselves. That's the transformation just waiting to happen. It's nothing that I'm doing about it. I really tell you, I don't do anything. I don't do anything. I'm just waiting to get it. You just catch upon it and you get it. I may be just triggering it, but you can trigger it also. So one has to understand that you have to be honest to yourself. You have to be fair to yourself. You have to understand your value. You must know your worth, that you are a human being created out of small things like amoeba from carbon. And today you are sitting here as human beings, you must be something very special. And this special thing has to become that thing which will make you understand what you are. Only thing, you are not yet connected. Only thing is that you have not yet felt that divinity within. We are all potentially divine. We have to just feel that divinity within us. But as a result of that, you are such a powerful personality, power of love. We have never used power of love. We have only used the power of hatred so far. Power of love is much above power of hatred. It can engulf all hatred, can just suck in everything that is hatred. It's very simple. Very simple methods are to be put. Only you must have desire to get transformed. Now the third thing that happens with self-realization is that you get a state of peace, of bliss and of joy. When the Kundalini rises above the Sagya Chakra, you become thoughtlessly aware. It's called as Nirvichar Samadhi, thoughtlessly aware, where there is no thought in your mind. If you want, you can think. If you want, you can think. But if you don't want, you can be in that state where you don't think. Actually, it's maddening sometimes the way man is thinking, morning till evening, yarns after yarns, useless things, a joyless pursuit. But when this thinking stops, you are above the thoughts. I would say, to give it a simile, that the waves of thought come and go away. Another thought comes and goes away. We are jumping on the cusp of the thought all the time. Supposing we can just get in the center of the thought, that is the present. If we could stop at the present moment, then we are not worried about the thoughts. Like the waves of water, if you are in the waves, you are frightened of that. But supposing you are in a boat, then you can see the waves and enjoy them. In the same way, what happens to you that you jump up to a higher state of existence through which you see the thoughts. If you want, you don't want to see, you need not see. Now the thoughts that you see also are very wide and deeper, where you get inspirations. That's why, as Dr. Warren has told you, that your creativity improves. You can become tremendously dynamic because your time is not wasted in wasteful thinking. You just know this is it. This is the exact. This is what we have to do. And that's how people get rid of many of their problems of mental tensions. There's no tension at all. You don't have any worries. You just see the thing like the witness. You become the witness of the whole drama. When you are in the drama, you think you are a part and parcel of the drama. Sometimes you weep with it and cry with it. But when the drama is over, you realize it was just a drama. I was not there. In the same way it happens to you, that you achieve a witness state. It happens to you. Even if you want to get involved, you cannot. You just cannot get it. That's how you can solve the problems better, because you are away from the problems. You can see what the problem is, but when you are in it, you are upset, full of tension, worries. And sometimes people get so upset with it that they commit suicide when they find no solution. But if you are away from it, then you can definitely solve the problem. Now this witness state has to grow within you gradually, with little understanding and with little meditation.
So now let's connect back with our meditation. Any video that we watch or photos of Shri Mataji bring tremendous vibrations as well. When you become more sensitive to those vibrations, we'll be able to better tell where they're coming from, what things help our Kundalini, and what causes obstructions and barriers. And now with our attention on the top of our head, let's just bring our hands up to heart level again. And for me, after that lovely video, my hands are very cool. And just see what you're feeling. We're continuing to check in and see how our hands are feeling and how our body is feeling as we learn to use these vibrations more and more. So now with our attention on top of our head, let's just be in meditation again. So we can use our right hand to move those vibrations around. So starting at the base of our spine, moving our hand in front, let's just move up and bring our hand up the top of our head and above. And let's just do that 3 times. Slowly, and feeling that energy. And a 3rd time. Now just bring your hand up 5-10 centimeters above the head, and let's just notice how that palm feels. Hand relaxed, fingers a little apart. And you're just feeling a subtle energy, like a cool breeze. If someone's blowing softly from a distance, just a very gentle vibration. It might be warm if energy centers are still clearing out. And if you're not sure whether that feeling's coming from the air conditioning, you can move your hand forward away from your head and just notice then how that hand feels, what room temperature feels like on your hand, and then move it back again on top of the head. And just notice. You can swap hands, see how it feels with the other hand. One side is clearer, often you feel the vibrations better with that clearer side. And also you can move it around a little. So it will be strongest above that fontanelle bone area, but if you move it to the back and the sides, different energy centers will be cooler or warmer as they clear. And that magnetic effect that I was talking about, when that energy is flowing through you, as you hold your hand above your head, you draw more and more strands of that Kundalini energy up and through that fontanelle bone area. So now let's just leave our attention up there where our hand was, up above all the thoughts, aware of everything, but not thinking about it. Well, Andrew's going to play some flute music for us, and just listen with your attention up there above your head, relaxed up there like a helium balloon, no weight. And as we listen to the music, let our attention travel up with the music above our heads. So Andrew, if you would like to put the music on. Can that music go up a little louder, please, Andrew?
keeping in this silent state. Just check your attention. Just check your attention, and if it has moved into the past or the future, you can gently bring it back. You can just say to yourself, I surrender. I surrender all my thoughts. I surrender my past and my future. I surrender. In this thoughtless state, we can check the top of our head for our Kundalini. We can check our hands and see what our Kundalini is communicating to us. And we can take our attention inside to feel the beauty of who we are. If we desire, we can put our hands together at the heart level and thank our spiritual mother, the Kundalini, for connecting us to our spirit so that we can feel the beauty within. We can then raise our Kundalini and put ourselves into Bandhan. I hope you are all feeling the silence. We'll go back to the slides now. So tomorrow, we are going to talk about the qualities of each of the chakras. We've mentioned the chakras a few times now. Each chakra has its own quality that we can awaken and we can strengthen. So we will talk about all the qualities of the chakras. We can go to the next slide. Now, on Saturday, not tomorrow, not tomorrow's program, but the program after, we are going to be doing a foot soak. Now, a foot soak is a very important technique. And just as we all know the cleansing power of the ocean, a foot soak is really the ocean in a bucket. It is a very good way of clearing our chakras, especially our lower chakras. And it's a very good way of clearing our right channel, the heat out of our right channel, and the heaviness out of our left channel. So to do this, what you will need is a bucket, as you can see there in the photo, some salt. We only use a handful of salt for each foot soak. You will need a jug of some description so that you can rinse your feet after the foot soak. And you will need a towel or some paper towel or cloth towel to help dry your feet at the end. So we won't need all this tomorrow, but we will need it the day after. Now, if by any chance you're not able to collect all these things in time, that's all right. Please just come along anyway, and you can still experience the meditation. And then when you're ready, you can try a foot soak at home. With the bucket, we ask that it is a new bucket, not something that you have used before for washing or anything else, and that it is a bucket that you only use for foot soaking. So that will be Saturday's program. And the next slide. All right. And for those of you who are perhaps joining us the first time, we have our website for you to go on. So all our programs so far are on our website. Also, you will find handouts about balancing, foot soaking, and other treatments. You will also find out more information about the chakras and their qualities. And there are also some guided meditations on our website as well. There is a link to join the WhatsApp group so that you stay up to date with any information. And there's a link to the Zoom chat. So the Zoom is a very good way to join because it allows us to have more of an interactive session, and it allows you to ask any questions. So what we might do now, if anyone has any questions, if you can please raise your virtual hand, or you can give it, I can see Lily. What I might do, Lily, before I answer your question, last night Badri had a question, and it was mentioned that there was tingling on I think it was the left index finger, if I remember correctly. Badri, please feel free to unmute yourself if you want to clarify. But I think it was the left index finger, you felt some pressure. And that relates to our self-esteem and how we view ourselves and how we view our actions. So if we are getting some pressure on that index left finger, it means that we may be prone to feeling guilty about our actions. And we know through the teachings of Shri Mataji that guilt is not very helpful to our spiritual ascent. And while we all make mistakes because we're human, what we need to do that instead of feeling guilty, we recognize our mistakes and learn from them. There are also techniques that we can use to help clear that chakra, and we will be sharing those techniques next week. Erin, did you want to add anything there?
No, that covers it nicely, I think, Jenny.
Lily, would you like to unmute yourself? And
Yeah, thank
yes.
you. I think it'd be really easy to find the WhatsApp group. Why I can't find the WhatsApp group? I look at the QR code on the screen.
Yes.
I go to the website and then where is the WhatsApp link?
It is there.
Yeah.
Well,
In the website, I say join Zoom, join YouTube,
yeah, and then join WhatsApp. What we'll do, Lily, is we'll check to see if there are any other questions.
Oh,
And once there are no more questions, we'll look at the website and we'll show it to you.
oh, I found it. Sorry.
You found it?
Yeah, I asked today. Today I come in 8 o'clock. I think I haven't late, but today the meditation we haven't started as normal, like put your right hand on your bottom, then on your tummy, then on your heart. We start at the lock, right? So we start with Iran. So it's start lock, then 3 lock, then we start from the breath from the left hand in, then right hand out. Is it right? We are different meditation today.
Yes, so we use, when we're giving self-realization, we use the hands in the way that you've experienced in the first 2 sessions.
Yeah.
And then in the next 2 sessions, we have gone beyond that and just gone into balancing and meditating. You don't have to use that process every time that you meditate. It is, particularly if you're feeling a bit heavy on the left side, then that using your right hand on your left side in those positions and saying the affirmations will clear that left side very nicely. But once that Kundalini is awakened, you don't have to do that every time.
Oh, okay. Okay, nice to know. I just worry I missed something, but nice to know. We just 3 or 4 section we learning fast, do we?
So even Lily, when you are at home, if you want to meditate, it can, and you're not remembering the affirmations or where we place our hands, it is as simple as raising your Kundalini, putting on a bandhan, and then you can just use your hand to bring up your Kundalini.
Oh, okay.
You can just do this until you find that shift that takes you beyond your thoughts. Or you can simply speak to the Kundalini and say, Mother Kundalini, please take me into meditation.
Wow.
As simple as that.
Oh, amazing. Thank you. Yeah, my question finished. Yeah, I finished my question. Thank you.
All right. So Badri has also asked, how many times can we put bandhan? So Badri, again, everything in Sahaja Yoga, we say in Sahaja Yoga that you are your own guru. So bandhan is essentially a protection. So we start the meditation with a bandhan, and that helps to bring our attention beyond our thoughts. We finish our meditation with a bandhan, and that is a way to keep that feeling of peace lasting longer. But we can also use bandhans in other times. So, for example, if we're feeling unbalanced, we can put ourselves into bandhan. If we're leaving the house in the morning, we can put ourselves into bandhan. Before we go to bed, we can put ourselves into bandhan. So it is really up to you. It is a very good way of establishing your attention inside and in this moment. So that's another experiment that perhaps you can try tomorrow. All right, Erin, anything else about the Bandhan?
There's lots of stories about the Bandhan.
Please feel free to share.
Just any time that you're feeling.
I think Lisa typed the question in the chat message area. Lisa?
Yes.
There was, yeah. There
yes.
was.
We can see. I'll just read it to everyone. Did you want to say anything else, Erin, about the Bandhan?
That's fine. We'll go on to the other question. Just if you're feeling, you know, if you're feeling a little like things are out of control and you're feeling a little unbalanced, it's a really nice, quick way during the day to just take a moment and step aside where no one's going to think you're doing weird things with your hands. Put yourself into Bandhan, and it just settles yourself down and, you know, brings calm to whatever situation you're in. It's a great way to balance as well as put yourself into protection. Very effective.
And there's also another very subtle way of putting that protection on you. So you can just take your left hand, use your right index finger as a pencil, and you can just write your name on your left palm. Then you can do a bandhan or circles, clockwise circles over your left palm. And this is the same as doing that physical bandhan that we've been doing. So anytime you feel that you need a bit more divine attention, a bit more divine protection, try that. Try it tomorrow. And please come back tomorrow night and tell us how you felt. We would really like to know. So you can bandhan yourself and send divine attention to you, or you can send it to someone you know who might need some extra help. Try it. We can talk to you and tell you things, but the best thing for you is to experiment and see what you feel. And only then will this truth become established in you. All right, I'm just going to read Lisa's question. I'm new to the energy and still can't feel the subtle vibration or difference on my hand or over my head. Sometimes I'm not sure whether I'm imagining things. How can I know for sure how I really feel? Erin, would you like to answer that?
Yes. I guess it's a little, if you imagine, you know, we were talking about how this subtle system within us is a bit like the ear or the eyes in terms of learning to use and trust that information that we get. If, you know, people who have been blind and all of a sudden can see, really can't trust what they're seeing with their eyes. We don't realize how much learning goes into being able to see. You know, we learn about perspective and distance by, you know, understanding how far away things are from how our eyes perceive them. We drop things 100 times on the floor from, you know, our high chair when we're babies, so we can see what that looks like and how that works. So it's in a similar way, we suddenly have this new energy that is coming into our central nervous system, and it takes a while before we learn to use it and trust it and understand what it's telling us. And it the ability to actually really sense this energy comes from this energy center here at the throat level, the Vishuddhi chakra. And sometimes that can take a little while to clear as well, so that our hands then become more sensitive. So just be patient and gentle with yourself, and keep checking. So, you know, if people who are suddenly able to see or hear have to keep practicing, have to keep gradually using that new sense before they learn to trust it and understand it. So just similarly, take your time, be persistent, but, you know, just be patient as well, and it will come. Happens to everybody in different ways, but generally you find if you haven't got that sensitivity on your hands, you might be feeling it more in your body. So, you know, suddenly become aware in a different way of how our body feels. We don't have to wait for there to be a pain in some part of our body before we know there's something wrong. We start to feel a heaviness or a weight or a heat in different areas of our body. So hang with it is my advice.
And I know it took me a long time. I think it took me over a month before I could feel the vibrations, as we say. And it's not the most important thing. The most important thing is that you are feeling that silence. That is the most important thing. So are you feeling that, Lisa? Are you feeling that sense of silence?
Yeah, the silence, I feel it quite obviously after each meditation. I think it's deepening each day.
Great. That is the most important thing. But one thing I do find that works, you can get a little bit of oil, put it on your hands, massage your hands. You can also give your head a bit of a massage, and that will help the vibrations come up. So you can try that.
Okay, I will try that. Thanks.
All right. Anything else? Anyone else have a question? Lily, is that another question?
Yeah, so Aaron said if you feel something wrong in your body, one part, then what do we do there?
Well, so in the same way that we were saying with your fingers and your hands and the weight in your arms, we don't have to worry about what's caused it or where it's come from. We just clear it with using our hands, changing the energy flow. So clearing it as part of the whole side, and then switching sides. However, if you find that one area is persistent, then we'll start to clear that particular energy center. And that's I believe what you'll be doing tomorrow, Jenny, more specifically about the particular energy centers. And we'll teach you the technique for that.
And know that your Kundalini is working on you. She's working on you. She knows where she needs to go. She has her own intelligence. So we don't have to work it out. The Kundalini will do it for you. You just keep meditating. That's all you need to do.
Okay, thank you, amazing. Just today I feel my left shoulder, the back is no long time injured when I do check out the job.
Yes.
So the muscle was pulling sore. Then tonight I feel a little bit sore, like maybe like a few years I try to ignore it. And then today by getting quiet, I feel it like so yeah. Thank you.
Any other questions? All right. I think that's all for this evening. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for joining. The more people that we have joining us, the deeper our own meditations are. So we thank you very much for joining us. We have some music for you if you would like to stay and enjoy the music. Otherwise, we will see you tomorrow.
Thank you all. Good night.
Good night.
Well, wherever you are.
कैसा वैसा और बजाएं? बाद में ले लेंगे कैसे वैसे और बजाएं? आपके आगे हो तो बजाएं।
टप्पा बजाएं? टप्पा बहुत बढ़िया बजाते हैं।
यही बजाते हैं टप्पा, खाली यही बजाते हैं गिटार पे।
क्या बात है?
या बाइक पर है
He says first the tumri, then gradually will come to tappa. पीलू करते ते करते राग बदले
हाँ वो पसंद करेंगे राग उस्ताद सागर राग।
That was the ball counts. Now he is going to render a tumri in Mishra Pilu. This is one of the very intricate system of music, Indian music, and you have to manipulate the swaras in such a way that you keep the theme of the raga, yet you expand and you could flirt into other ragas, yet keeping the theme of the main raga. I am no authority on as to how the intricacies go. You would feel it in your heart when he renders it. Thank you.